Greetings to all sentient being. Greetings to Ushatamu National. Greetings to the corporate subject and the brainwash citizens as well. Greetings to my divine goddess. All right, straight to the point. Let's discuss about the bonds and what the bonds is about. Now, the bonds are the board certificate, and citizens are stocks. Just like livestock, you are a stock. Now, let me talk about how the bonds and them operate. Now, the CEO of the company or the corporation that refers to itself as government, the prime minister of the CEO of the corporation of this company here, and Euromilan, that is illegally occupying, unlawful occupying, is called St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And the CEO that refers to himself as the prime minister is Ralph Gonsalve. Now, for Antigua, right, which is Walilabu, which is the corporation Antigua, the CEO of that is Gaston Brown. And it moves on and on. I ain't getting deeper into that. So now, when they want to deal with bonds, like for instance, when they have a disaster and they need financial aid, they signed a treaty with the World Bank, the IMF, London Stock Exchange, and BlackRock. Now, even though a lot of things has been shifting and that the bond system has moved from Russia and China buying bonds to now BlackRock operating only through the bonds, just to keep these de facto corporation alive, because that's how they funnel the money. That's why police is on the street giving tickets and doing these things, because they're dipping into your bonds, right? And until you take claim and ownership of the bonds, all of that stop. So the prime minister of this corporation, right, the CEO, Ralph Gonsalve of St. Vincent and the Grenadines Company, right, went and buried 60-something million. Now the act of burying on the bonds, which is the board certificate, from the stocks, which is called citizens, is 3 times the amount. So if you could get 1 million, it's usually 3 million. So if you have 120,000, times that by 3 is 360 million you could have get. But because now who didn't go away, who pass on, and a lot of us over the years remove ourselves from the bonds, take ownership of the estate and help others to do the same, it weakened the system. And they no longer can tap into the bonds the way they want to. So he could only get 60-something million access from the bonds. That is to tell you that he doesn't even have 60,000 birth certificate to trade on the bonds, right? He probably only had about 25,000 to 30,000 birth certificate to change on the bonds, because it's 3 times the amount, right? So if he only had about 20 to 25,000 birth certificate, that's the reason why he could have come up with 60-something thousand. He can't go over that. So he's gonna tell you, he estimate that the damage from the hurricane, that man-made storm that just passed, and the reshuffling, which is to help him get back on the foot. So they claim, you know, they're not gonna give everybody what they deserve, and a lot of people is gonna be left out. It's only who they have under their pocket will get some of that funding. But that's not the issue. So he claiming he only could get 60-something million, and that's really what it's gonna cost. Now, let me go back to 2020, when they staged the eruption of the volcano as well. When HARP erupt the volcano here and Uromi, where the same company occupying called St. Vincent, what they did is bury over 300-something million that time. Now, how come that damage for the volcano was such a little thing comparison to the storm we do like 10 times the amount of damage that done in the volcanic time, right? It's 10 times that amount, but yet you burying less money does that, and is not barrier. I'm gonna get into the terms now. I'm gonna get into the terms and get the logic. How come that the damage is more intense than what happened at that time, but you're borrowing less money Does that sound logic to you people? I want you to get the message straight, right? Right? Does that sound logic? That's how we advance in the space of 3 years. We got a lot of people to come on board and take ownership of the estate and remove themselves so they can't go no longer use the birth certificate to go bury bonds. We shut it to fuck off. That's why the Prime Minister went publicly and tell the people them when they hear about us doing certain thing not to follow us, because if they do that, they would not get such and such money to bury. He came public, but he didn't explain why. So he leave the people them in a guest state. Why is he saying this? Now, I'm telling you why. The reason why he told you not to follow us, sovereign, and shut the bonds off from the birth certificate, because he will not be able to get more money to bury. Because look, from 2020 to now, just almost 4 years, and we already close more than half the percentage of the bonds for the stocks that is called Citizen. So he cannot access too much money right now through the World Bank, because he's not borrowing money. He only advocate use the term as borrow and then come back in Parliament and pass bill and trick you people and push more tax on you as a way of fraud. But he doesn't have to pay back nothing. And remind you people, it's not money. This is not money. It's promissory note. It's a bill of exchange. It's not real money. Real money is gold and silver. Right? From 1933, it was shut off. And it's just a bonds and a stock market. That's why I got a message from people saying police are everywhere harassing the van drivers, especially because they can't really get to tackle the private drivers, because the private drivers have a way of debunking these tickets. The van driver can debunk them too, but the van driver have to know how to stand. The problem with the van drivers, because it's a commercial vehicle they're running, it's commerce. They're carrying passenger for hire. So it's called commerce. So that is the reason why they're more tackling those, because that is an actual commercial vehicle. So under the commercial rules and regulation, the word drive means vehicle that is carrying freight for hire. So a passenger van is carrying freight, is carrying people and load and so on to people to different destinations. So that require a license. So personally, because they know these things, so they're targeting these, because they know if they target the private passengers, they will get an uproars. Because some of these people will rebel and they would not get everything. And remember, 72 hours to debunk a ticket. Even the van man can do it, but they have to know what they're doing. 72 hours to debunk the ticket. They're inviting you to commerce. You don't have to accept these things, but because of scared and fright, threat, coercion, and intimidation against the people, they submit and go and pay these tickets. You don't have to pay for no ticket. You don't have to pay. You should never pay. You should debunk them and throw them back on them. But I just want to let you know how they get money when it's a disaster to claim to help get the economy back on track from the World Bank and Land and Stock Exchange, IMF and BlackRock. It's through the bonds of the birth certificate. It's through the stocks that is called Citizens. That is why it's important that you take ownership of your estate. And the estate is the all capital name on the birth certificate. Take ownership of it. Shut it off so that these CEO criminals for these crime syndicate gang that poses as government will not get anywhere. We are trying to get you people to wake up so we could shut them complete off. So once that shit is closed, they have nowhere to go. We know we will still have some brainwashed people who will still just accept it. And we're warning you people who's given birth for the handful that's still left. Do not give your child a birth certificate to be a corporate slave or to be known as a stock, just like a livestock. Wake up. We as indigenous nation has a full de jure republic government on the land of Uromi and is ready to take over and manage all of our affairs. And you can come to us to get a real documentation to document your child entering into this wall. You don't need a birth certificate. A birth certificate is only going to make you a slave. And to the back of the birth certificate in fine print, they call you an informant. An informant now inform the CEO and the other agents of the corporation that a new vessel is in town. Take that into consideration and learn what we're talking about. Take it very seriously, my people. There is no more time for joking. It's very, very important that you get the message clear. We do not want idlers right now. We want to teach the truth. And the way how the birth certificate is work is a bond. And the bond is sold to these banks for some form of fiat currency that they refer to as money. That is not lawful money. So they could do the reshuffle or help to stabilize the so-called economy. So with the last hurricane that the man made, that just happened over a month, he has claimed he buried 60-something thousand. But that 60-something million, that 60-something million only could have come from the stocks, which is the bonds of the birth certificate. He can't get money just like that to bury. Them thing is just a gimmick. It's always sold, they sell the birth certificate as a stock, trade it as stock. And that's how they get, because it's not real money, it's fiat. They're not losing anything. And because you accept it for value, it keeps circulating from hand to hand. That's a different time for that video. I just wanted to share that message there. Learn what bonds are and why you are known as a stock under the birth certificate. Remove yourself from that. Take ownership of the estate. Stop them from having so many power. Let's break the system. Let's destroy it. Peace and love, my people. Share the video.